Hey, what's up, everybody? Back here in the garage. Cold. It's getting cold, and it's getting a lot colder here over the next couple days. So, just trying to get in a few things here before it actually gets really, really cold. But this is just a quick update on what I've been doing kind of recently here. I actually have getting a lot of stuff in the past couple days, actually. So, anyways, I'm gonna flip this camera around just so I have the 6.0 that's wrapped up in a plastic bag and some blankets, torn down all the way down to the block. The only thing that's on there right now is the crank and the main bearings are still attached, so I gotta take those off. I'm actually going to be taking that to the shop because I didn't want to have to do it, but everything just kind of depended on the tear down of it. And when I tore it down, I actually left the crank in, and the crank looked good. It actually looked really good. The journals looked good. It spun like butter. It was actually really good. The cam was still in it, so I had to wait until I got a puller to take off the harmonic balancer on it, the little crank pulley. And when I took that off, then I was able to take out the crank. And then or not the crank, but the cam. But when I took out the cam, I wasn't happy with how the bearings looked, and they were bronze, and I didn't really mind that they were a little bit bronze colored, because with these motors you actually can still run them even with a little bit of bronze coloration on there. But it had some nicks and things like that I really didn't like, and so I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna have to replace them. But this is the cam. It doesn't look too bad, but on one of the journals, I don't know which one it is, but it had some light scoring on it, and I really didn't like that either. So I decided, you know what, while it's all apart and out of the car, now's the time to just do it. And bearings are only like 20 bucks. So I went ahead and picked some up, and I'm going to take them to the shop on Monday, and the guy's going to press them in for me. And I'm going to take my crank in as well, and take that out and get that inspected and polished and cleaned and all that too. So just going to go ahead and do it and just build it back up again. So all the pistons look good. I'm actually just cleaning them right now, soaking them in parts cleaner. And those look pretty good, so we'll see what they really look like when they're cleaned up. And these here, I actually just cleaned my first initial cleaning on the heads, and I just used some engine degreaser and some other stuff that I use, Purple Power and all that. And I'm baking them right now to get all the water dried out and everything. So these heaters, man, are phenomenal. If you guys don't have any of these, they are great. So I use these in the shop all the time, and they're awesome too. If you guys got any tips on how to get this fan off this water pump, I have no idea. And I mean, I put the wrench on the nut and tried to get it off, but you know, obviously the pulley spins with the nut, and the engine was not all the way disassembled, but it didn't have a belt on it or anything like that. So I don't know how to get that thing off, and my other one was not as hard as this one to get off. So if you guys got any tips, it's like seized here in my inside lab, and then got a few parts in. So I'll show these first. I just got these today from Summit. I got this from eBay. These are actually bolts for my headliner piece that I needed, so I got some of those. This right here is the cam bearings I was talking about. Same brand that I used for my 5.3 swap. These are for a 6.0 2003 model. So got these, 20 bucks. It's crazy how cheap these parts are, or some of them. But it costs so much to have it done by a shop if they tore down the motor themselves to get to installing these. It's crazy how much of a pain it can be to get to just installing these. So just for a $20 part, insane. But yeah, so I got these cam bearings. This right here, this is the trunnion upgrade. So if you don't know about that, y'all, they make a trunnion upgrade. A lot of different companies make them. This is actually, I used the Summit brand last time on my 5.3 swap, and I think these were like 100 and I don't know, 20 bucks or something like that. But it comes with everything you need, even the locking retainers, the bearings there, and the trunnions, and I think that's pretty much it. So they're actually really easy to install. I did them last time on a vice clamp thing that I had. I just sat on a chair inside and put a piece of cardboard on the table and just went to work. So it's fairly easy to do. So, but this is definitely a must, especially if you already have the engine apart and all the heads apart, both heads apart. You might as well just do it if the rockers have not been updated, or you could potentially be asking for problems if a rocker loses one of those needles and then it gets inside in your engine, and if a rocker goes bad and that happens, then you could basically destroy your engine. So not a bad upgrade to do. You might as well just do it if you have it apart. What else? Oh, I got some gaskets, all new gaskets and everything for the heater box. It comes with everything. It's this kit right here. I think I just got it on eBay from Muscle Factory, but it comes with all the gaskets and everything you need for the heater box. And so over time, this foam pieces and all this in here just deteriorates, you know, especially 40-50-year-old car. So I just ordered that, installed them here. So this is the flapper that lets the heat in and out. This is where the heater core sits in, and then this actually attaches to the inside of the firewall. This is the inside heater box. So yeah, y'all, and one trick to put this down on, as you can see, I got my adhesive there. And I've been doing this for years, y'all, and it works phenomenal. And you might laugh, I don't know. You might not. But shoe goo. I've been using this stuff on heater box repairs as far as putting new foam or insulation in. There's some other techniques that I use and stuff like that if I don't buy stuff, but I just went ahead and bought this. And shoe goo works great. It dries fast. You can lay it down, it lays thick and then dries fast, and it's good stuff. So I've been using that for years. Never had any problems with it ever. So shoe goo if you're looking to do something like that. One thing too, y'all, if you have an old school and you're finding out that your heat won't really go from like the floor to the defrost to the vent when you use the selector switch. A lot of times, sometimes it can be the cable, sometimes it can be the little vacuum plugs in there if that's the kind you have, but a lot of times it's this flap right here. All right, so that flap opens and closes, and over time, especially when you have the OG original foam in there, that deteriorates, and when it closes, it doesn't get a solid seal on it, so it'll still let air through in and out, and then it won't close off any air or anything like that. And you have multiple flaps like this one. There's another one inside here, so as you can see, here's another one that opens and closes, and there's another one right here that opens and closes, and that also forces air on the bottom side down to the floor. So you have 3 different flaps on that one, and if any of them don't seal, then you just have air just running, you know, to the floor or to the defrost like all the time without even you selecting it. So that's a good little tidbit for you guys if you guys didn't know. So what else did I got? I think this is the last thing right here. So I've been waiting on this so I can install the heater box. Some information I found on Chevelles and A-bodies is that if you have the regular heater core that in the Chevelle or Nova or whatever that you have that has just your regular kind of small block engine in it, then more than likely you're going to have a heater core that with just like a standard box. So the heater core inlets or outlets or whatever will actually sit closer to the passenger side head. However, it'll still clear because it's a small block. But if you're putting a bigger motor in it, or even the LS motor, sometimes you run into this problem as well. My guy at Bad Luck Garage made a video on this, and I'm glad that he did, because I was just about to install this box and I would have probably ran into that problem. So he made a video because he's actually doing an LS swap on a Chevelle. Well, not a Chevelle, but a Nova. And he ordered this right here. So this is actually the outside piece, the cover that sits on the inside the engine bay and the firewall. And as you can see, as I was trying to explain earlier, which I should have just explained it here, this is where the heater core inlets or outlets or whatever you want to call them come out. On a traditional one, they would come out over here, and that puts it that much closer to the passenger side head or to the engine block. And I guess on the LS motors, you could run into issues with it hitting right here. So he made a video where he adapted this one. It should bolt right in. He just had to make a slight modification, and where it actually moves the heater hoses and everything more to the center. So actually a little bit more closer to the inner fender well. So I'm glad that he made that. So I went ahead and bought this. It was like 50 bucks, but that'll save me a lot of headache hopefully later on. And then that's my what do you call it, heater core. So that heater core is actually, and again, he gave me that information as well. He posted it on his page. That is actually for a 67 Camaro. And I guess he had trouble finding one for a 70s Nova that would fit this 70 Nova's big block or whatever. He was having trouble. It wasn't listing in any of like O'Reilly's or AutoZone or anything like that. So kept researching, and he found that one for a 67 Camaro. That's basically the same thing that they would use for a big block Nova or a big block Chevelle. So that's another little piece of information for y'all if you're looking to do a swap on an A-body. There you go. So I talked to a buddy of mine who's actually going to paint the car for me, do all the body work and everything. He's actually going to take some pieces this weekend for me. So actually Monday. So I'm going to take him the fenders, the trunk, lid, there's a rear spoiler piece that goes on the bottom of the rear bumper, and I'm gonna take that to him. I don't know if they call it a spoiler or a valance or something like that, I'm not sure. And I'm gonna take the two headlight bezels that complete the front clip. I'm gonna take that to him as well. So he wants to get started on it sooner than later, so when I take him the car, he doesn't have that much, he has that much less that he needs to do. So anyways, I'm gonna take that to him. He already priced out everything for me as far as what I need to pay him to get started and all that. So we are going to be good to go. So I'm moving, y'all. I'm moving. Trying to get this thing going and on the road. Still got a long ways ahead to go. So brakes. What else I got? Dang, brakes. Suspension. The suspension's already in it, but hopefully it's good. I'm just going to go over it. What else I got? Drive line. Got to make sure the tranny sits good on the cross member, all that stuff. So there's still a long ways to go, y'all. Interior, all that stuff, but I'm making it happen. I'm moving. I'm a one-man shop at my own place, but I'm making it moving, y'all. I'm doing my thing, trying to make things happen, and we'll see if I can get this thing rolling by the summertime. So anyways, that's it, y'all. Don't want to keep rambling. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to all my new subscribers as well. I'm getting a lot of traffic more recently, and I appreciate all you guys who are tuning in. So stay tuned for more, because more is coming. Shoot, I got 2 other whips that I'm continuously working on as well. So hopefully I can put those in upcoming videos here as well. And
devastating stereo track.